These are the top 5 surf fishing tips in 2020. I've had the opportunity to fish with some of the best surf fishermen on the Gulf Coast, and they taught me some game-changing tips and tactics. Today I'm going to share these 5 tips with you so you can drastically increase your knowledge of catching fish from the surf. Number 5, bait variety. If you want to be successful at catching fish in the surf, especially if you're scouting a new area, then you need to come prepared with a small buffet of bait. Shrimp, sand fleas, mullet, ghost shrimp, artificial bait, they all have their place in surf fishing. You can bring tools like a sand flea rake or a ghost shrimp pump to harvest your own bait at the beach. I will have links in the description below so you can find out more about how to make your own ghost shrimp pump and also where to buy the best sand flea rake. Just like humans, a fish's appetite can change on a regular basis, and for whatever reason, you will find them ignoring the sand flea that was the golden ticket just last weekend. When the bite turns off, switch up your bait and see if that fires them up. Number 4, use more color. Tony Fagioni, the creator of Fish Gum, taught me how important it is to use colored hooks, floats, and beads on my pompano leaders. He has performed dozens of tests, sometimes even with underwater cameras, to determine what the fish are looking for. 9 times out of 10, the pompano are going to target the leader that has more color. That's because they're sight feeders. If you want to step up your game in the surf, then I highly recommend either tying or buying colorful pompano leaders. If you live near the coast or vacation to the area, then stop by a local tackle shop and ask to see their pompano rigs. My go-to rigs is Salty's Pompano Rigs. If you prefer tying your own rigs, I will have links in the description below to some of the supplies that you can buy on Amazon. Number 3, recognize patterns. The best surf fishermen keep a journal of their trips to the beach so they can document stuff like tides, time of day, seasons, bait choice, leader selection, and a whole host of other details. When you look back at a fishing journal, even if it's just your social media feed, you are going to quickly identify patterns. Those who are fortunate enough to be on the sand every day quickly recognize these patterns that seem confusing to the weekend warrior. Remember that if you keep any record at all of your fishing trips, you will have a much better chance at pinpointing patterns that will keep you from wasting your time. Number 2, find structure. When you're fishing in a boat, it's very easy to identify structure with the help of your fish finder. But how do you figure out structure on the beach? Holes, sandbars, cuts, rip currents, these are all key features of structure in the surf. And if you can learn how to read the waves, you will be much more successful at targeting fish. The next time you're at the beach, find a high spot, and before you even set up your fishing rods, take a couple minutes and watch the waves. You will see waves breaking over sandbars. Dark pockets of water are what we call holes, and these deep zones make great areas for fishing. The areas between breaking waves are cuts and rip currents, and if you focus your eyes, you can often see what looks like a river heading out to sea. This outflow of water is a rip current, and although dangerous to swimmers, is the number 1 area for targeting fish. The predator fish like to hang out in the rip and pick off the little helpless bait as they get dragged out to sea. Before we move on to number 1, comment down below if you learned something new in this video or add something that I left out. And consider subscribing to my channel for more surf fishing tips, tricks, and reviews. Number 1, zone awareness. If you want to master surf fishing, then you must focus on zone awareness. Imagine you have the perfect bait and leader out in the water, but you're not even close to where the fish are feeding in the surf. Matthew Isbell, who is known as Bama Beach Bum, developed this terminology for targeting fish, and I recently sat down with him on my podcast to talk about zone awareness in detail. Click the video on your screen right now to discover the superpower of surf fishing, which is zone awareness. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. And as always, thanks for watching.